Hey, welcome to my updated, not really updated. I have a video that's about 4 years old about how to, oh no, that's about USB, booting for USB. We already did that video. This one is going to be about, actually, let me go over here. This one's going to be about disk imaging. I don't know if anybody's had trouble, like I have, I work in a school and trying to update a bunch, or trying to image a bunch of machines very quickly. There's a lot of different ways to do it. I've had bad luck with a lot of online stuff and network stuff. I used to use one called Ping for a few years, and Norton Ghost like 15 years ago. Then Ping, and then I started using Acronis. So I use Acronis, but then Acronis wouldn't work with UEFI drives, and at least the version I had. So I was trying to find all kinds of other solutions, ran into a lot of problems last year doing it. I ended up not being able to do it. So anytime a machine, long story short, I ended up having to do a restore on factory restores, and that was a real pain in the neck when a machine would go bad. So I put a little extra time into it this year, and I found what I consider the best imaging software around. I'm going to show you why, and how. First off, what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to download Macrium software from their website. Just throw it in a shared area on your network or on your computer or whatever. And just use, I did business use, but I don't think there's any real difference. I did business use because I work in a school, and I downloaded it and I put it on a network share. And then I took a machine and I went ahead and made that machine exactly how I wanted it. Perfectly the way I wanted it. All the software installed, all the links, whatever, user account, admin, all that stuff. Made it exactly like I wanted it. It's a Windows 10 machine. And then what I did is I set it up the way I wanted. And what I did was that's weird, sorry. I went ahead and took that software and installed it on this machine. Okay, and what I have hooked up to here is a external USB carriage, I guess you'd call it, or whatever the name is. I can put USB, not USB, but I can put SATA drives in here and use them on the computer so that it works really good. So what happens is when you want to do this, the first thing you're going to have to do is make sure you have one of these. This is an Initech. It actually works really well. You can actually even copy drives directly if you wanted to, which works pretty well. So right now I'm using it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this machine the way I want it. And once it's the way I want it, I'm going to install that software. And all you got to do is it's a standard install. I'm not going to show you how to do that. It's pretty easy. You just open it, install, click on pretty much all the defaults and install it on your computer. Okay. When you install it on your computer, then what you're going to do is you're going to make a clone of your local disk and clone it to your USB disk. Your external, you can, if you have an external drive, you can do that, whatever you want, a USB external drive, okay? Then this will be your master forever, or wherever long you're going to use it. Then you could take this image, and like I'm going to do, make 24 more of these, or 100 more, whatever I have. I've already made 5 of them, and it takes about 20 minutes a piece. It works like a champ. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to do that. The first thing you're going to want to do is set this machine up the way you want, okay? And then image it or clone it to this machine. I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, since I thought it'd be a better idea to just go ahead and I'm going to take another unit that I just finished. I'm going to go ahead and just walk you through the install just for the heck of it. I have it stored on a network share. Okay, maybe it'll find it, maybe it won't. We'll see, because I'm switching networks around, so who knows? Yep, there we go. There's my share, and it's actually right here. So that's it right there. It's called Reflect DLBF. I don't know why it's called that, but I got it right from that website. I'm going to double click it. Okay, so I want the free edition. I'm going to save it to my desktop. Whoops. Yep, I'm going to save right to my desktop instead. It's just easier that way. I don't like running the installer right away. I'll click it. And then I'm going to download. If I remember correctly, this might actually take a few minutes. I can't remember how quickly this goes. It looks like it's going pretty good. I think it's the install that actually takes a minute. So that's all you got to do is download it to a share or whatever, or onto your computer, and then just download it. So all items downloaded correctly. Okay, and close. So I can close all this. And if I go into the folder, yep, there it is right there. I can open it up. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and run it. Macrium Reflex 7. Again, in my opinion, right now the best disk imaging software that's out there. One of the nicest things about it is it's free. So this is the one. Whoops, click next. I'm going to go ahead and I don't know how this takes a while. Can't remember. Yep, next. I'm doing all the defaults, so you can probably skip through this. You haven't had it provide its own key, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Install for all users, sure, why not? And there we go. Yep, there's the program. And I never like launching now, sorry, just me. If I can unclick it, that'd be good. It's hard to do this one-handed. And I can close that. So now we have the program. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run the program. I want to take all the stuff on this computer. I want this computer to be cloned to this external hard drive. Now, in order to do that, you do have to follow the steps in my last video, which is on enabling USB boot. You have to enable a USB boot to work correctly on these machines, because this is not a UEFI device, at least for me. So you need to look at that video I did yesterday, and look at that video on prepping this machine to be able to boot from both legacy and UEFIs. So if you follow that first, then you'll be all set. So I'm not going to show you that in that video because I've already showed you that one. So make sure you do that before you get to this step. So you might want to stop if you haven't done that and go back to that video. Okay. So again, make sure that's turned on. So I want to be able to take this and clone this to this so I can use this as a master for all my other units. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. I've already enabled the boot options and everything on here. So I'm going to go ahead and double click the program. Macrium, yes. I'm sorry that I'm using my handheld camera. This is really important, and I won't be able to focus it good. Make sure you know which drive is your master and which drive you want to be your master and which one's a local drive, okay? So I want to take this local drive and make a master that's external. And they really don't do a good job. They mix these around a lot, so you might not know which is which. Generally, the local disk is first, but not always. So look at your hard drive and make sure they match up. I know that my external is a 465 and the internal is a 238. So I want to take my 238, okay, and take my 238, and I want to go down where it says clone this disk. I want to clone the local hard drive and make an external master. Clone the disk. There's my local disk. My local disk. I need to select a destination disk. So I'm going to select that. There's only one option because I only have 2 hard drives attached. There is my USB. Click it. Now they're both here. Source. Always check this 2 or 3 times. Source is local. Destination is my external. Otherwise, you'll really screw things up. So I'm going to click next. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to select anything else. Just select the 2 disks. Click on next. Did I click next? Yep. And that's for a schedule. I just run it right away. There's all of your summary. I don't care about that. I know it's going to work. And you click finish. Boom. Last thing you got to do is, do you want to save the backup on a schedule? No, I don't. I just want to run it. I run this backup now. Click on OK. Going to give you one quick warning. Yeah, continue. Clone is started. And you'll start seeing stuff come up on the screen. It varies from 20 minutes to 8 minutes, depending on what's happening. My shortest one's been 8 minutes. So it just depends on the speed of the drives that you're dealing with. Okay, so right now it's running. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now because it's pretty much it until we're done. See, it's already on. Now it's already copying files, or it's checking the file system. And right there, now it's processing the hard drive. So this is the biggest step right here, 304. And we'll continue on. Okay, it looks like it finished. It comes up and displays the drive, which looks good. Clone completed in 8 minutes. And it does a little cleanup operation. Close. And now you're done. You're all set. So, what you've just done, or I've done, is I've taken this disk and made this disk look exactly the same. Now, there's going to be some space left on this one because it's a bigger hard drive. That's where you saw that gray area on there. They didn't look exactly alike. So now this is my master that I can use to build other units. Okay? And we're going to do that next, and you'll see that it works. Okay? Hold on. Okay, I got a new unit now. This is the one I want to make a new one. This is now my master, because I want to take my master and make a new system that runs on my network and runs the way I want it to. So I took it out of the box, brand new out of the box, went into the BIOS and did the whole USB boot thing that I showed in my last video. Okay, so now this one will boot off USB. That's important because you have to boot off this master in order to make a clone and put it on this machine. So I went ahead and made all the changes. Let's go ahead and restart the machine. Yes, and we're going to hit F12 so we can get the boot options. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now that I've made all those changes, it should boot off USB and boot off of that hard drive. Here we go. There we go. So it's booting Windows 10 off of my external USB. The problem with that is it does boot up very slow. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the video again. I'm going to let it come up with Windows. And then I'm going to log in, and then after I log in and everything is up and running, because like I say, it takes almost 7-8 minutes to boot up this way, I found. So I'm going to do all of that, get it up to a desktop that's all functioning and ready to go, or at least booted, and I'll come back. Okay, we're back. This machine has booted all the way up. It took about 6 or 7 minutes to fully come up, because it has to reconfigure itself because it senses new equipment and stuff. So it's up and running. We're actually running off of the external hard drive, not the internal one. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, and I know this because it has everything set up with Macrium all on it, so I know it booted up correctly. Basically, all you got to do on the new machine is double-click it. Yes. Comes up nice and quick. Now watch how quick this goes. Now again, you got to keep in mind what the local disk is and what the external is, because I know my external is 465, and I know my internal is smaller, 238. So I want to select this one this time. Remember, I selected the top one last time. I want to clone the external hard drive onto this hard drive. So I'm going to clone the external hard drive by selecting it. Clone this disk. There it is. 465 is now going to be my source. Whoops, sorry. 465 is now my source disk. And I want my destination to be the local one. So I'm going to click. And the only option, there's only 2 hard drives on the system, so there's my local disk. There we go. Source is external. Destination is internal. I'm going to click next. I don't want to schedule it. Don't want to do it now. Hit next. There's all my options, my stages. Everything looks good. Finish. I want to run it now, but I don't want to schedule it. Click OK. It's going to give me a warning. Continue. Done. Not done, but it's clone has started. So now it's going to go through, and again, it takes anywhere from 8 to 20 minutes depending on the mood of this hard drive and whatever, what's going on. But I'm going to bring you back when it finishes. Okay, we're about done. The clock isn't on there, but I think we're still at about 10 minutes, so it's not too bad. This way you can see what happens when it finishes. Obviously the computer recognizes it. There we go, step 4. Yep, see, now it sees the folder, which looks good. And then it finishes up processing. Yep, clone complete, 8 minutes, 16 seconds. Not bad at all. Okay. So, I'm going to close it. And it looks good except for the extra space, which is normal. Well, that's on the source anyway. So, close that. So now we're still on the external drive. So let's just see if this works. We're going to go ahead and shut it down. Okay. And And once it shuts down, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the USB and bring the system up. And then I'm going to show you my little quick thing to change the computer name and join the new domain very quickly. I know there's a proper way to do it. I don't do it the proper way, so I'm going to show you what I do. There we go. The machine is shutting down. Looks like it's off. So I'm going to shut this hard drive off and disconnect it. So it has to boot locally now if it's going to work. So let's see what happens. Turn the power on. Okay. Looks good so far. It sees the Windows boot sector. Looks like it's booting okay. It might need a minute to configure devices and stuff. Nope. Ha! Okay, it looks like it's running. It's Tuesday, July 24th. The internet the network came up, which is good. I'm going to go ahead and log in with my credentials for here. That's a local login. It's not on my network. Okay, and yeah, keep USB. Yeah, that gives you that error for a couple of times because it still thinks it's USB. So, obviously I'm booted. It looks good, but the problem I have now is that the machine name is wrong, and the machine name is wrong basically. So the way I do it is I disconnect from the network, turn the Wi-Fi off. I go into Advanced System Properties. So I click on this PC, Computer, System Properties, and then over here I just type in Advanced, Sys, and Advanced System Settings, Computer Name. I'm going to change the computer name. This one here needs to be 809, because I'm going in order. So 809. But I can't change it on the domain. It won't work right. So what I do is I go to Workgroup, I put it on a Workgroup, and I just pick a name that I've used before. I want to put this on a new a new Workgroup. Yep, okay. I have to give credentials. Actually, it really doesn't matter if you screw this part up. It'll take pretty much anything, but out of habit, I actually use a real one. So that's a local account. So I think maybe Windows 10 will change. I know last time I had to worry about it. It works no matter what you do, but so it's taking longer than usual. There we go. Welcome to the work group. Boom, boom. It's going to make me reboot. And it's going to restart. Now, when it restarts, it's going to have the new computer name, but it's not going to be on the network. And I took the wireless off so it wouldn't delete the original master's account, because that's the problem. It would have took the master account away. And somebody's going to have that computer, so I can't allow that. So I disconnect the wireless, make the computer name change, and tell it to be a work group. So when I boot it back up, I'm going to log in. Okay, I'll log in locally. I'm still logged in locally. Okay, but now I'm going to turn the wireless back on. Hopefully it sees it. Good, it's on. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go to this PC, go into System Properties, and Advanced. Okay, now it's not typing. Advanced. There we go. Advanced System Settings. Go back into computer name, and we're going to change again. The name is correct, but I want to put it back on I'm just putting it right back on the same domain. northwoodschool.org. Okay, so I'm putting it right back on my domain. It's going to ask for credentials. If it asks you for credentials, you know it sees the server. I've run into the problem many times where if I screwed something up, it'll say it can't see the server. Like if I forget to turn the wireless back on, then it can't see the server. So obviously it sees the server. So let me log in. Okay. And it should allow me to join the domain. Welcome to the domain. So now the computer name's right, the domain name is right. So what should happen now to test it, I'm going to restart it one more time. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to log in with a network account. And that's it. Here we go. Again, sorry for using my handheld, but it's really all I had available. So these little units are nice. If you can get a hold of a 480 with Windows 10, these things, and an i5 processor, these things actually do really well. They boot up nice and quick. Log right in. here we go. Everything looks good. So instead of logging in locally, I'm going to log in with other user. I'm going to use my account. Which one am I using today? Okay, yeah, I think that looks good. There we go. Sees my name, so I know it's, well, locally it works, but obviously here everything's good. I'm on the network. Yep, I'm good. Network resources. Yep, I see my computer. I don't see any others for whatever reason. No, there we go. A couple, one or two, and a bunch of printers and stuff. So I know it's working. It's on the network. Sure, it has all of my programs that I put on here as well. There we go. Yep. Yeah, we'll enable the extension. Why not? Acrobat.com. Yep. It's online, working great. And like I said, let me just show you that I do have my programs on here. Let's see. Access is on here. Yep. All the Office stuff's on here. Adobe's on there. So there we go. My computer is all done. All right. I know the video is kind of long, but it takes a lot less time when you don't worry about showing somebody something. You just go boom, boom, boom. And again, this Macrium Reflect. Macrium Reflect. It's free and it works like a freaking champ. I mean, this is the easiest software I've used for imaging. The only thing you need is an external USB carriage to put drives in, and you can, make a bunch of different images if you want to. But on these, you got to make sure on this unit you got to make sure you enable USB boot per my last video. So hopefully this wasn't too long for you, but it works like a champ. I wanted to go ahead and share this in case anybody had this trouble. I was having trouble for the last year and a half trying to figure out how to copy UEFI drives. And hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this is helpful to at least one or two of you. So thanks for watching.